Hello. We're going to go over the creation of a data source in JasperServer to connect to a Microsoft SQL Server instance. So I'm running my Microsoft SQL Server in a virtual machine inside my computer. One of the first things that you will need to do to start with is to check that your configuration settings on the Microsoft SQL Server is accepting remote connections. So on your Management Studio, you can check that by going to the connection property here and setting up the server to allow remote connections. That way you will be able to connect from outside this box into the Microsoft SQL database. The other option that is important is to enable SQL Server and Windows authentication mode, since the JDBC driver that we're going to be using will use SQL Server authentication. And after that, of course, pick up a user. I will be using the SA user, but you can create one just specifically for Jasper if you want. So of course you have to know the password of that user and make sure that the user is actually enabled for logging. That will take care of the Microsoft SQL Server part. Other couple of gotchas that I have been dealing with, and they're important to note here. Check your firewall so you're not preventing connections to your server. And also, if you check the SQL Server Configuration Manager, make sure that you have enabled the TCP/IP protocol for connections. And also inside that protocol, you will be able to see which IP address you are bind to and which port you're using. So specify a different port if you want. In this case, I'm going with 1433. And that will take care on the Microsoft SQL side of getting this connection working. So now let's go into the Jasper part. The first thing we need to do is download the JDBC driver for Microsoft SQL Server. You can do that directly from the Microsoft site. This is the one that you will need. You have two flavors of it, either an exe or a compressed file. I will be using the compressed file since I'm working on from a Unix-like environment to make this connection. Once you have that downloaded, you will see that you're able to uncompress that, and you have two jar files, two sets of drivers. You can check the help on the that comes with the driver. It's a full HTML help that will allow you to pick which one is the right one for you. In my case, I'm opening up the help here. If you go to the overview, you will see that the SQL JDBC jar, it's actually for Java runtime environment or JRE version 5, and the SQL JDBC 4, which is a class 4 driver, works only with JRE version 6. So main thing we have to do there is check our version. You can quickly do that from the command line. As you can see, I'm running version 6 in my instance, so I will be using the SQL JDBC 4 jar. So what you will do is actually grab the proper driver and copy that into your Apache Tomcat lib. As you can see, I have my driver already here, or the JasperServer class path. So either of those class paths will make Jasper be able to find the JDBC driver. I normally use Tomcat lib because I use JNDI connections also. So once you have your driver there, you have to restart the Tomcat service. That will depend on your flavor of OS, but you can use either the start menu and go to services and restart Tomcat, and that will actually give you a good chance to get the server restarted and be able to read the new driver we have just copied. So from there, let's go to the JasperServer side. So I'll connect to my Jasper instance. I have that running locally. I can go to the repository from here. I normally leave all my data source connections in the data source folder. You can create them where you actually are keeping your connections. So you will right click, add a resource data source, pick a name for it. The other thing you will need is actually the driver class. That's in the documentation for the driver. If not, you can take it from here. For in the case of the Microsoft SQL Server, is com.microsoft.com .SQL Server driver, and then the connection URL or the connection string. In my case, I just replace the host name for the IP address of my servers. Remember, 1433 is the port that we opened on the Microsoft SQL Server. I pick my database, the username that I selected, and you can click test connection here. You have the connection path dialog, and you should be good to go with that one. If you want to test your new connection, you can create a new domain using that the connection we just created. Let's pick that one up. So in my case, my tables are this schema, and you will be able to work from here, creating the domain and building your reports out of that. Okay, hope you found this helpful. If you have any comments or suggestions, you can go to the new community website from JasperSoft. So that's community.jaspersoft.com, and poke around and you'll find the answers that you're looking for. Thank you.